I am recording. Ba, ba, ba.
I am recording. Ba, ba, ba.
I don't have to do nothing because it already hit record, so...
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 680th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm your host, Steve. With me is Bobby.
Hello, I'm back in the garage. So sorry, no more beautiful, colorful posters behind me. Now it's you just get Pikachu and Eevee again.
And Dragonite.
And Dragonite and Mew, yeah.
And because this is our 15th year anniversary show, we brought back a real...
Drag me out of the crypt like the crypt keeper. I flew halfway across the country for this momentous occasion. Not that I
you did, yeah.
would not have done that anyways, since I had the flight booked 2 months ago, but...
You should have recorded in DC to make it more anniversary
What's
special.
really interesting is, and this is the first time it's ever happened, I did not go into DC once. I stayed in Virginia the entire time. So, I couldn't record from DC. Anyways, I wasn't there.
Tragic. What's also tragic is this podcast has existed for 15 years as of this episode. Just both a blessing and a curse. Will is back. Bobby is here. There was a brand new Pokemon Presents, so that is going to be the majority of our episode. And then for the bonus episode, which we are making free, we'll do a little reminisce. Is that the right word?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Pick any word. You can throw it in there. Reconnaissance. We're having reconnaissance.
for 15 years. That'll be free for everyone. So if you're on the premium feed, it'll kick in after. If you're not, you can go over to Patreon. You can get it for free. And that'll be that. We could pay for 50, like you have to pay money for our memories, but we'll make it free this week. Let's start off with the presents. Well, that's the majority of the thing. I'm going to try to go in presents order. I think that's the best way to do it. So I guess we'll end with Z-A stuff, and then we'll get the 15 minutes of mobile games. Okay, it wasn't all mobile games, to be fair.
I thought there was only mobile games. I didn't notice anything else.
You could argue that Champions is a mobile game. I mean, it is.
Yeah, there's no argument there.
Wow. When I was watching the whole thing, I only noticed one game, and like the best game that they've ever released, and then maybe I just forgot everything else. So I guess when we get to that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to what Will thought was the best game. Perfect. Well, they started off with the World Championship stuff, which is not a mobile game.
Really? Shocked.
They showed the Paradise Resort card, which they're still doing this like Psyduck thing. The retreat cost of each Psyduck in play, both yours and your opponents, are 1 star or less.
I mean, I'll happily take that over. What was that card that like you could only get at the championship, but you needed it in every deck?
Tropical Beach.
Tropical Beach. Never again. Never again.
Yeah, I think the Psyduck reference is just Masuda's favorite Pokemon, plus making a rare card useless so then it doesn't become a Tropical Beach. Where
thank you.
When Will and I were playing, we both needed like 2 Tropical Beaches, and a Tropical Beach was anywhere between like $80 to $120, depending
Correct
on condition or whatnot.
I once bought a guy 2 of them, and then he dumped me. He was just in it for the Tropical Beaches.
Just, yeah.
15 years of memories.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that was it. I mean, they showed a couple other things, but I think that was like the big takeaway. Like, hey, World is happening. Hey, here's a new card. I think they showed like some championship stuff. If you won, you got like a black championship playmat and
you're missing the biggest news. We're getting a Toadstool. if you go to Worlds.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
You get a code for Toad School.
That news was so big that it wasn't even on this own Pokemon.com recap. Okay, that's a good point. The Toad School was the thing that you'll get while you're there.
Mhm.
Last year, it was a Steenie.
Yes.
And the year before was something, because I got a bunch and then I gave them away to people in our Discord. I don't remember what it was.
Was it a
But they
card?
put
Was
'em
it
out.
a code? A code card or something?
Yeah, they were, because the last year was Hawaii.
Yes.
So they were handing out the little Steenie cards around the hotels and the villas and stuff. And the year before was Japan. And at one point, like, they were just handing them out everywhere. And you couldn't go anywhere without just a bunch of people just being like, please take these cards. So I got so many of whatever that Pokemon was for Japan. And then I just dumped all the codes into the Discord for people to redeem them. The Toad School thing is interesting because they did show like the Machamp plushie and the Jigglypuff plushie and the Pikachu plushie. They've showed all these plushies, they've showed all this merch, but they have not shown a single bit of Toad School merch, though Toad School is the distribution Pokemon.
Mm.
Yeah. And they've shown the picture of Toad School with the roller skates. But that was it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we getting roller skates at Worlds?
I just want a Toad School plush
Have they
with
already
roller skates.
Have they already done a California Pikachu?
Yeah.
Because normally,
I mean,
like Worlds, they do like a Pikachu themed on the location.
Yes, this location is like the theme this time is like road trip. That's why there's like the car and like the license plate and the varsity jacket. Not sure what varsity jacket has to do with road trip, actually.
Wait, road trip is the theme? Isn't it like, I mean, it is like, reminds me of like the 50s, 60s
Yeah, it's
scene
like supposed to be
of-
like James Dean and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't
and
know
you
what a James Dean is.
have like the, what? You don't know what a James Dean
Rebel
is?
Without a Cause?
Like the bacon?
No, that's Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy Dean.
Oh, that's Jimmy. Oh, okay.
James Dean was the original bad boy.
Is Machamp supposed to be the James Dean?
I think Pikachu is supposed to be the James Dean.
Oh, okay.
No, but it's like, so you have the Toad School with the roller skates is reminiscent of like going to when you park your car and the person comes out to take your order and they're on the roller skates, and that whole theme of like the 60s, like 50s, 60s, like go into the drive-in, go into, all of that stuff. That's, I guess, I don't know what what the theme.
What was the
name should
movie
be for
before
that.
Star Wars that made him famous? Oh, dagnabbit. I can never remember names. George Lucas made
The Outsiders.
and it had Wolfman Jack in it. No, not The Outsiders. American
Nightmare.
No. Oh.
Cody Rhodes.
That would be that like has everything from this in it. It has like high school
American
kids
Graffiti?
driving around up and down the strip. Maybe it is American Graffiti. Was that George Lucas?
I think it's George Lucas.
I kind of remember some parts of some things. 15 years of memories.
Maybe road trip is too generic and you guys are bringing it in some more specific, which I appreciate because I don't know how to make it more specific. When you look at the picture, it's like the car and the roller skates and all the street LED neon signs and the palm trees.
It's like Grease. It reminds me of Grease.
Yeah. Or Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Bobby Flay. One of those two.
Sure. Not to be confused with Jimmy Dean. There should be another Pokemon distribution, though. The Toad School should be for people who are there at the venue. And then there should be something that should go to everyone. So in London, that was Victini. And last year, that was something. And the year before, I think there was a Sinistee that was only in person. I think that was London. I think in London the Sinistee was only in person, and then the Victini was for everyone. I've gone to all these events, and I can't remember any of these distributions.
15 years
that I
of
got.
forgets. That's what we got here. 15 years of forgetfulness.
That's what we're here for. Does that lead? Okay, trying to think of this thing in order here. So they spent 2 minutes on the. So to break this down, to verify this wasn't all mobile games. 2 minutes out of 24 minutes was the World Championships. That led into Pokemon Concierge Season 2, which is also not a mobile game.
That's a TV show.
On Netflix,
which you can watch on your mobile device if you have the Netflix app.
True.
Well, technically Netflix has games, so maybe.
I was very confused because that's stop motion animation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they announced the next one, which is also stop motion animation, but they didn't put enough of a spacer to say these are actually 2 different stop motion animations.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So,
that's what you're saying.
Wait, Will, did you see the first Concierge? Did you see the first 4 episodes?
I don't watch TV. What do you think I am?
It's a game. It's a mobile game.
If it's not on Crunchyroll, it's not on in my house.
Okay, so Concierge is coming on September 4th, 2025 on Netflix. Did they say how many episodes it was? It just says new episode September 24th.
Yeah.
I guess the twist here, not to spoil anything, well, if you watch the presents, the twist here is like her boyfriend shows up, or her ex-boyfriend.
Thank you.
Drama. So I guess that's nice. I think a lot of people like Concierge because it doesn't feel like it's aimed for kids. I almost similar to like, while some people might be like, well, I like Pixar movies. Like, I don't think a lot of kids understood what happened at the beginning of like Up.
Well, no, this is more of like a middle grade YA if you were thinking in book terms. Like, so like maybe like 11 years old to 18.
11
seems young. Do 11-year-olds care about exploit? Do 11-year-olds have
kids these days are wild. They're exposed to so much. They're growing up too fast.
That's true.
I mean, my kids did enjoy the first 4 episodes, and they are 5 and 7.
Well, I think it's the kind of thing where it's like there's wacky, fun things happening on the screen that little kids can understand, and they're not going to pay attention to like, oh, my heart's broken because my ex-boyfriend who dumped me for a Gardevoir just showed up at the concierge station.
Exactly. That's true.
That's actually a true story that happened in the last 15 years too. So crazy. But this was expected. This was like the fact that Concierge showed up was like should have been not surprising to anyone.
It was just cool to see a trailer, I think. I don't think that it was, because I think if you look at Netflix, it says like season 2 is returning. Like I think it's been saying that on Concierge.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, to your point, it wasn't a surprise that we were getting a season 2, but it was cool to see a trailer for it.
Right. Like I guess maybe we can talk about this now, so we can have a filler between the 2 stop motion TV shows that they decided to run back to back,
which they didn't have in the presents.
I think the most common thing I saw was the reception of people. Like everyone has to have a take nowadays, and I guess we have a take because we do this every week. But like what I'm
every 3 or 4 years for me, but sure.
Sure. But I felt like there was 2 takes that came out of this Pokemon Presents. Number 1 was like how people felt about Mega Dragonite, even if they're like not a Pokemon fan, they still had to like give their input on Mega Dragonite, which we'll get to. That was part of the other mobile games they showed. And then the other take was Pokemon Presents in general are like bad/boring. Or like the joke that we've already run into the ground, however, 15 minutes into this episode, which is like the Presents was nothing but mobile games, and the Presents are always nothing but mobile games. I don't know I think that I personally think the response to like the presents are bad, or they're always bad, or they're never that good, or they're never worth watching. I do feel like it stems from people, and this is not new. I think it stems from people setting their own expectations, or having these expectations, and then the Pokemon Presents not delivering them, and then them being upset that they created these own fantasies. And I think part of that is probably like the YouTubers or the people on TikTok you are following that are saying like, oh, we're going to get Black and White remakes. We're going to get Johto remakes. We're going to at least get a snippet of Gen 10. We're going to get this like Kanto collection thing that has like existed for like 8 years, that every time there's Pokemon news, it's like, well, they're going to put red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, ruby, sapphire. Like, it's every time there's like an ounce of Pokemon news, somebody like runs with that specific like game package and like, this is going to happen. And when those don't happen, people are like, well, this was bad. And realistically, I think, why would any of that happen in the middle of July when next year is their 30th anniversary? Why would they not save all of these big announcements for their 30th anniversary? And this was something I said 2 years ago when we talked about the original, not this past Pokemon Presents, but the one before that, which I think was me, Bobby, and Hannah, which was they have the 30th anniversary coming in 2 years, and it feels like they bit off more than they could chew with Z-A, or not with Z-A, with Arceus, with Scarlet and Violet, with the DLC, with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. And there has to be a point where they need to like catch up. And that's been the last 2 years that they need to like catch up.
Catch up on what?
So they don't have like another Scarlet and Violet nightmare where that game like runs so badly.
You mean they're taking their time to develop it and get it right and make sure that it only runs on the Switch too, so that I'm forced to buy a new console. I have a slightly different POV or interpretation, because what comes to mind, especially with Pokemon Z-A coming out, is I think back to 2013 and like February of 2013 and the announcement that came out where it was like Pikachu on top of the Eiffel Tower, and you're like, oh wow, they're announcing a new game. And we had like nothing. It had been like no news of anything from Pokemon, and they're like, on this date you watch YouTube and you're going to get a Pokemon news. And it was like, oh, amazing, because now we're getting X and Y. But now, and here, 15 years of memories. Back in the day, we used to have to scrounge for Pokemon news and updates. And we used to have to be like, look, they put in a DNS request for these 16 different URLs. That's a sign that they're maybe developing something potentially for really. Now it's like, every other week, Pokemon's got some news out, and they've got so many things out there that everything is so saturated, which fine. You know, people want to see Pokemon in all different things, but it really reduces the amount of excitement for an individual announcement like we had when they were like, there was one announcement a year. And it was like, this is the new game that you know nothing about because we've been on such lockdown. They were like so good about it's kind of Pokemon's kind of gone the way of Apple. Not so good at the lockdowns anymore.
That's true. That's true.
But I think that really affects people's excitement, because it used to be just like, when we get this announcement, we are so starved for any information about Pokemon that we're going to just like be thrilled and like pick it apart. And yeah, there were still people speculating about what could possibly be coming here, now, when, and there. But just now we just get everything trickled out to us all the time. And I mean, there's things that they update up all the time. So there's worth, having news.
Yeah. I mean, like, we know not a whole lot about Z-A.
Yeah, but it's like, you have like this angel food cake of Pokemon news, but there's one nut in there that's Z-A, but you barely notice it because you got all this other fluff All of who puts nuts in their angel food cake, man?
Yeah, I was wondering where this was going. I was like, no, it's not.
You've got this whole solar system and like one little moon of ZA.
But what I'm saying is we don't know a whole lot about ZA, and yet people are like, well, this was bad because we didn't get whatever remake of whatever generation. We didn't get Gen 10. We didn't get like any classic games. And it's like,
that's true.
And it's like, well, we don't even have the game that is supposed to come out on October 14th, I think. Like, we don't even have a lot of information about that.
I'm still waiting for Pokemon Gray, so and life has been disappointment all these years.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get that at any point in time, right? I mean, that's like you said, that's kind of their own fault. Like, everybody's hyping these things up in their mind, or they're reading things or seeing things, or YouTube, whatever it is. People are hyping things up that have never been even hinted at because it's what they want to see, right? They've not been given a reason to believe that there's any of these things coming. They just want to see it, so they hype themselves up for it, and then of course it doesn't show up, and now they're disappointed. I
mean, we had this in February where people thought there was going to be a new Eevee because of an image of an air balloon. And I don't know. I think the Venn diagram of people being disappointed is also overlaps with people just taking an image of an air balloon with Eevee and being like, there must be a new Eevee evolution, and like that's the complete circle. Is like, how did you get that we're getting a new Eevee from just one image of an air balloon? How did we get here?
Yeah, well,
and that happened this year too, where with the DJ Pikachu stuff.
Yeah,
where I said in my like prediction video, I was like, it's probably just gonna be a DJ show because that's what they did in Indonesia. That's what they've done in Japan before. It's probably just gonna be a DJ show. It's not gonna be a game. It'd be cool if it was a game. Probably not gonna be a game. And lo and behold, the DJ Pikachu, which they branded as a DJ real life show, ended up being a 1 hour DJ show, which is like fine. I thought it was very cute. I thought it was like, if you're just like cleaning your house, I think you should put DJ Pikachu on in the background. If you just like want some like remixed Pokemon music, I think it's really great. They did a really good job at like making you want to pay attention too, because like the Pikachus will come in and they'll like go out, and it's like, oh, what is it they're gonna do next? But anyways, one of the things I saw over the weekend was like a screenshot of like the two of the DJ Pikachus. One was like it had grass glasses on, and one had fire glasses, and it was like fire red, leaf green remakes, and it's like, no, it's just how did we get here? Like they're just glasses on a Pikachu.
It's funny because the Pokemon Company, unless I'm misremembering, has never been one that has like put Easter eggs in places like that. Like, they've never been a company that's done like, oh, we're gonna put fire glasses on this because it means leaf or fire red. Like, that's never been a thing that they've done. So it's funny that all these people constantly look for all these things in the background as like, this must mean that this is what's coming. But that's not what this company does. Like, there are companies that do that, but the Pokemon Company does not do that.
And I would actually argue, whenever they do like signs, symbols, portents, and hidden meanings, it's for theme and environment. But if it's going to be something specific, they're like, look at this. See this weird thing. It's coming in a week.
Yep.
It's Surfetched. It was a glitch, and now it's Surfetched, right? Because that's specific. But when they announced Scarlet and Violet, they're like maps and treasure and galleons, and it's like, oh, the theme is Spain. Cool.
Yep. Exactly. So that's very weird. People just they want what they want. Like, they want these things to be true, so they create these. They hype themselves up, and then at the end of it, it's like, they're not disappointed in the Pokemon Company. They're really disappointed in like themselves, I think. But it's much easier to put that anger toward something else rather than look inside yourself to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't hype this stuff up next time.
It reminded me. I think the biggest, maybe not takeaway for myself. Maybe if people didn't hear the story, 15 years of memories. Here's a story I've told before, but I will tell it again. When I was playing the Blueberry Academy DLC, not the Teal Mask, the Indigo Disc.
Mm-hmm.
When I got flown out to New York by Nintendo to play the Indigo Disc DLC, and I sat down, and there was like other members of press there, right, or like from like IGN or whatever. They're playing their game, I'm playing my game, and the Nintendo rep was like, "Hey, the Indigo Disc takes place in Unova. Like they'll mention Unova a lot." And I was like, "Yeah." I wasn't like, "Yeah, I know." I like read ahead, like I'm up to date on the information here. But she said, "Don't look too much into it." She said the brand just likes to use their entire world and try to bring it together.
Of course.
And that is probably like the best way I think you can really describe Pokemon is like it when you played, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Lily goes, "I'm going to go to Kanto at the end of this."
Well,
that didn't. And then
the next game was Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. That's a bad example.
Well, but in
there's no Lily in Let's Go Pikachu.
True.
I don't remember if it was just Sun and Moon or if it was in both, but wasn't one of the gym leaders from Unova like standing on the beach? And
Grimsley.
Yeah, and it meant nothing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like the Lieutenant Surge's gym.
Yeah.
Or like a fake Lieutenant Surge's gym in Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Or like I recently played through X and Y, and if you just talk to random people in Lumio City, you will get somebody who will mention Hoenn. You will get somebody who mentions Johto. You will get somebody who mentions Unova.
Which is like in itself is actually awesome that they like do actually bring that in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't have to mean anything. It's just world building. It's just to say like, oh, yeah, these regions do exist. It's not like these games all take place in separate universes, right? Like
yeah,
which is great. And it doesn't have to
except
be anything...
for like maybe Pokemon Masters, I think technically takes place.
Okay, I mean the main series games.
But it's fine. Like I overall think the Presents was like it was exactly what I expected it to be. It was like here is a trailer for Z-A, which we will get to. Here's a trailer for Champions, which we'll get to. Here's a couple updates for the mobile games. Some of those games you will care about. Some of them you won't. Here's some non-mobile stuff, which I'm actually surprised they didn't bring up Project Voltage. That was like the one thing I was like, oh, wow, they didn't bring... Well, yeah. But I guess Project
Pocket.
Voltage and Pocket. Yeah, that's really weird too.
Yeah. But
wait, before we get
real quick. Sorry. Before we continue
go ahead.
Like, so people were mad at the fact that the things they wanted to be in it weren't in it, right? Because otherwise... I thought it was full of information. Like literally they covered almost every game that they have, and we got more information about Z-A. We got more information about Champion. Like I looked at it at the end of it and thought that was a good Presents. We got more information about the games that we know are coming.
Yeah, but there was no surprise. There was no surprise. It was like, yeah, we got. I guess it wasn't.
I guess I expect a surprise at something like Worlds. I expect a surprise at something like the Pokemon Day event. But like when I hear things that are going to happen throughout the middle of the year, my own assumption is just cool. We're getting updates, not like, oh, they're going to drop some like surprise at the end.
Updates. No, we all want Christmas all the time. Nobody just wants like Thursday afternoon meatloaf dinner.
I think people need to start appreciating Thursday afternoon meatloaf dinner. Well, we all be happier, I think.
No,
you're saying Pokemon Friends wasn't a surprise?
Look, that's the greatest. If we need to jump ahead to the greatest Pokemon game ever made.
No, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
But honestly, what Pokemon needs to stop doing is stop putting out information and only do once a year, and everybody's going to be like, this is all my hopes and dreams. I don't care what they say because anything they announce, I have no idea what it is, and everything's going to be great. And then they have to do one more thing because Apple did it, right? And then like your one more thing, everybody's like, oh, my head's blown off my shoulders. I can't believe they just said that Pikachu is going to be green in the next game.
Oh, crazy. let's take a break. And then we will talk about the other animated thing, and then a theme park. That felt like a surprise. If you lived in Japan, and then a bunch of mobile games, and then we'll get to the rest. By the way, after the Concierge stuff ended, we are now 4 minutes out of 20 minutes into the Presents. So we have not gotten to the mobile games yet, 4 minutes in. So we will be, and we talked about that for 31 minutes. So we will be right back. And we are back from our break. All right, 4 minutes in, we have Peter Lord of the Aardman Animation Studio. He showed up. This is actually surprising because this isn't supposed to come out until next year?
27, I think, right?
Yeah, wasn't it like not anytime soon?
Yeah, 2027 it is.
Yeah.
So they spent a minute on this. So 1 minute, which showed Wooloo and Sirfetch and Pichu.
Can I just say, I literally had this idea. I mean, obviously they've had this idea for a while. I had this idea like a few months ago on the podcast, except my thing was it's Lechonk and Wooloo, and they're the ones that are getting into like hijinks and stuff, like when trying to like hang out on a farm together. I literally said that on this podcast.
But that's a different idea.
It's so similar though, and there's a Wooloo in the trailer.
No, this is going to be like the guy with the windmills, Don Quixote.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Are they related or not related to Jimmy Dean?
Separated by several hundred years.
Okay.
Except I think it's like Sirfetch'd is like a noble knight who is going to go on quests and everything like that. And then Pichu is like his squire that's going to mess everything up and get into trouble and stuff like that.
Okay.
Sure.
I could see that.
Trope are they borrowing
Not
from?
necessarily farm related, but just Wooloo, because Wooloo is the signature Pokemon of the British Isles.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. Well, there's still some theme of Pokemon messing with each other in some way.
We are at this point. Yeah, It looked fine.
Are they? Is this the company that did Wallace and Gromit?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I do know one thing.
Yeah. It's just hard. Like it's just hard to be excited about something that's not coming out next year, but literally the year after. So it's like, oh, that was cute that they showed something and like the project's still alive, but
yeah,
like it's even hard for me to be excited about ZA because it's like 4 months away. So you want me to be excited about something that's like 12 plus months away.
You're spoiled. You see, you have too many presents.
No, I'm trying to focus on what's in front of me. I'm trying to focus at the things at hand. I need to feed my Snorlax dinner. That's what I'm focused on.
No. Does that game still exist?
Yes, we'll get to it.
I thought Bobby was going to quit and then they'd close shop.
That's true.
And then Bobby came back. So see, it's Bobby's fault.
Okay, so the next thing they showed was the theme park, which we've known about for years. Memories, 15 years of this podcast, we've definitely talked about it a handful of times, Will included, that this was eventually coming.
No, I only ever talked about like a deal with Universal or something like that, not their own theme park all on their own.
I think, okay, this is really, I think this is hard for me to say because in one breath, I think this is really cool. In another breath, I think this is really lame.
Is it statues?
Yes.
This is the
problem. It's not animatronic stuff, right? I thought it was going to be animatronic until I saw the pictures of the statues. And I was like, oh, wait a second. It's just statues?
Yeah. I think that's the lame part. Okay, so the PokéPark Kanto is in the Kanto region. It's connected to an already established amusement park. So this is like, I was talking to my Twitch chat about this.
Like
yes,
Harry
this
Potter.
is like Universal, but like Harry Potter is like there. But if you look at the map, which is very well established, and you look at the 3D diagram they have, like that is the park. There's no like hidden secrets or anything. They they show their own hand here of what that park is, and it's One, it's not very big, which is like fine. Like it is like 1/5 the size of Yomiuri Land, which is what it's connected to. Which apparently this park has a Ferris wheel and like 2 roller coasters and some other stuff, and then the Kanto PokéPark is in like the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's cool. And then when you see the like map they lay out, it is like 2 rides. One's like a merry-go-round, and then one's like a Pikachu faster merry-go-round. I don't know.
And then merry-go-round.
Yeah, the opposite. And then there's like a Primarina fountain when you walk in, and then it looks like there's a handful of shops.
Primarina fountain?
Food. Yeah, I think it's a Primarina fountain right at the beginning. You can see it when they like do the 3D diagram, 3D diagram, and then you can see it when.
I guess I assumed that this was all Kanto Pokemon since it's PokéPark Kanto.
Well, I mean, they showed a lot of Pseudo-Widows as well.
True. I guess I wasn't really thinking about it until you like said it out loud, and now, yeah, okay.
So, and then behind all those stands and behind the 2 rides that they have what looks to be maybe another ride, but inside whatever that building is, and then behind that building is just a gym battlefield, and then it's separated where there's like a forest that you can walk through. And that's pretty much the whole park. And it's not very big. And as somebody who's been to Japan a handful of times, like these like exist everywhere just for like different things. Where it's just like, here's a thing you can walk through that is like outdoorsy, and there's like some rivers and there's some trees and there's some fountains and you can take some pictures and then you're done. And that's a nice experience. But it doesn't. It's like cool that they're doing it, but like, why is it just Pseudo-Widow statues? Why is it just?
I mean, to start with, they might make it better over time or completely ignore it.
I want Jurassic Park, but Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Good luck.
Because like, okay. So like when you go to the Mega Tokyo, which is the biggest Pokemon center in all of Japan, and they have so many statues. They have all the starters. They got Pidove. They got Alcremie. They got all the Pikachu. Right down the hall, there's a giant Luffy statue. They got statues on top of statues. They're all there.
That's my favorite Pokemon.
Mine too. You can get some Luffy cologne behind the statue that I almost bought.
I spend so much money on Luffy these days, man.
But all of those statues, like there's a lot of them. They're really cool. They're really great picture opportunities. They're great. Obviously, all the Pokemon centers have statues. Either they're starters, or Miraidon, or Koraidon, or Ampharos, right?
Not anymore. They're all in PokéPark now.
Yeah, but now you're going to a PokéPark, and it's like, here's a forest with just more statues. Like, if they would have shown that these moved, or they, like, did something, I feel like I would be back on board. But even when they don't do, okay, so even like Pokemon Center aside, when I was like in Hiroshima, you could go up to the 20th floor of this business tower, right? You go all the way up there, and they have like a Gyarados slide and like a Magikarp seesaw and some other Pokemon thing that I can't think of. And it was like, yep, like this already exists everywhere. They have like Pokemon themed slides and seesaws and swings like all around Japan. So like to bring it together to be like, here's a paid admission that you have to go to in Japan, it just doesn't seem worth it. Like I could be wrong. I think people travel to America or to Florida or to California to go to a Disneyland or to go to a Universal Studios. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe people from the UK do not want to go to Florida's Disney World.
I mean, there is a Universal Studios in Japan that has Monster Hunter stuff, so
yes, yeah,
we can skip that one.
I think I guess the point I'm making is like people will like go to theme parks in other countries because they're unique.
All right,
and because they're exciting.
Let me give you a value proposition. In PokéPark Kanto, is that what it's called? No.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
They will have a monthly Pokemon Go distribution ultra rare that is only available there. $1 billion. They're in the black, financially successful for all eternity. And if you fall asleep at PokéPark Kanto, you will have a special Pokemon show up in your Pokemon sleep.
I think that's a good point though, Will. I don't know if you intentionally made that. What if they made it slightly / purposefully boring so that people didn't feel like they needed to like come and line up?
That's never been the Pokemon Company's way of doing anything.
True, but maybe somebody there has finally gotten a little bit of sense that there's value in peace, quiet, and reflection, and something for the little kids.
This is true. Well, I literally said we have to be more happy about our Thursday afternoon meatloaf dinners.
Exactly.
And then was like, I want Jurassic Park, but Pokemon in the next breath. So
why can't there be a spot on this earth where I can go and quietly stroll and reflect on my 15 years of Pokemon memories?
Let it be
without
known.
Flashing lights and dancing pseudo-woodos.
Let me end on this. It wouldn't be 15 years if I didn't come on the show and say I hate J.K. Rowling and everything that she stands for. But if there was a new edition, or when Harry Potter World opened up at Universal, I know for sure people traveled everywhere because they wanted to go to Harry Potter World, right?
I traveled. I mean, it was only an hour and a half for me, but I traveled.
And you would think that Pokemon's first official theme park would feel that way.
No. Don't you put thoughts in my head. I do not think that. That's what you think.
I think a Pokemon theme park should feel travel worthy.
I think
like a Simpsons Land, like a Mario Kart, or not Super
Simpsons
Mario World.
Land is travel worthy?
Simpsons Land is great.
No.
I think Simpsons Land for a lot of people is travel worthy.
I had a Duff beer. It was amazing.
Isn't it just like caramel soda?
No, it was real beer. But like, at the Harry Potter Land, it was the butter beer or whatever. It's just like a caramel soda. Yeah. I meant at Simpsons Land though. Simpsons Land was also great. But I think that I know that it's the same in the sense that like the Harry Potter Land is a part of Universal Studios, but I feel like it'd be a much bigger thing if Pokemon did like their own theme park. I feel like that would be bigger. I still feel like it's a part of another amusement park, and so it doesn't technically. While I would love if they did like animatronic stuff and all of that, I would see them doing that if it was like their whole own park and not just a part of another amusement park. I don't know. I'm not traveling for it, but it's cool. But I just don't like the statue thing. It just seems weird.
I just want to be proven wrong. Whereas this is actually something that you would take time out of your Japan trip to go to.
Let's see it in 2 years. See what it turns out to actually be. It's vaporware. It doesn't even exist. The doors are not open.
I think it opens like early next year, doesn't it?
That's still plenty of time to get. It's a small world.
Yes,
it's a small Poke world after all.
It does say early 2026. So we'll see. I think it was a nice surprise. I think there maybe is potential, but I think they dropped the ball on it just being like statues in the woods.
I want you to travel back in time using LexisNexis newspaper, Land of Memories. Find out what Disney had when it first opened, and then do an apples to apples comparison. Because that could have just been, they didn't have no animatronics back when Disney first opened.
It was like 1930 or something.
Fine. We all have to start somewhere. You plant a seed, and then in 100 years, it might grow into a tree.
Happening with my hair here. All right, we're 8 minutes into this Pokemon Presents now. So 8 minutes out of 24 minutes. What is that?
A third.
We're 1/3 the way through, and we have not gotten.
Real quick, before anybody corrects me in the comments, Disneyland opened in 1955.
Oh, and they probably did have animatronics.
They probably did.
But it's like one of the original rides was It's a Small World. That thing is jank. It's fun as heck, though.
This is true.
Wait, hold on. Before we get to the mobile games, I know that's what everyone wants us to talk about. Do you think, I thought about this the most, actually, not going to the PokéPark or being disappointed by the PokéPark, although I did think about that. I thought about, does this mean the PokéPark name is dead? Like, is there not going to be another PokéPark game because now they have established a PokéPark here? This is kind of what I talked about with the DJ Pikachu. Why would DJ Pikachu be a game when DJ Pikachu is already an established, successful DJ who has traveled through all of India and South Korea and Indonesia and Japan?
Because
he's gotten his name out there.
No, your logic is incorrect. Your logic is flawed.
Oh, okay.
Because there already was the PokéPark Wii game, right? That didn't stop them from making a PokéPark reality. So they're two different domains. One doesn't lock the other one out.
I'm saying they now did block that one out.
No, that's not how it works. It's like two different swim lanes. The
like,
video game world and the reality world don't have to cancel each other out.
The game should have blocked out the real part from being called PokéPark, but since it didn't, the backwards would work as well. The next game could be still used.
The inverse is not the opposite of the converse, it's the contrapositive.
Okay, sure. Perfect. All right, our first mobile game at 8 minutes in, so 1/3 of the presents was people skydiving to Eternatus. This was no surprise that
they took this from Godzilla, by the way. Watch the Godzilla trailer, the one that came out in 2013, and literally they skydive into the thing, and through the clouds they see Godzilla roaring at them. That's the first thing I thought when they had them skydiving in there with Eternatus is, you took this from Godzilla. Just saying.
I'm a Mothra stan. I know nothing about Godzilla.
Why did they say the biggest event in history is coming? Why was who approved that copy for the Eternatus skydiving thing? Are they saying the biggest event in history in Pokemon Go? Or are they, because there's some pretty big events that have happened in history. I don't know if Niantic knows this.
It's not even the biggest Pokemon Go event that's happening right here, right? So
maybe because Eternatus is big.
Is Eternatus the biggest? Is Eternamax Eternatus the biggest Pokemon?
It's also the Gigantamax Pokemon, right? So that's why that's big. That's the big size. They're big Pokemon.
I see.
It's not their best work.
I mean, that could be my review of the Pokemon Company International for the past 7 years.
Yeah, Eternatus making its debut, I guess, is fine and interesting and okay, I guess. They announced it. They gave out a free promo code so you can get a free either Inteleon, Rillaboom, or Cinderace GMAX. So that's pretty cool. They spent a solid 35 seconds on... I literally watched it as we were recording. They spent 35 seconds on Pokemon Go. I think that was generous, honestly. Good.
Yeah.
Fine. Great.
Yeah.
They moved on to Pokemon Masters, which somebody said they did this Marvel copy where they showed all the trainers walking. I don't know what part of Marvel that was.
What were they trying to sell? It was just we have lots of trainers and gym leaders in this game.
Yeah, it was Endgame.
Yeah.
In Avengers Endgame,
okay, that's what
when they're all what's going on here? They're taking cues from Godzilla, from Marvel.
What's weird is it's for they. As far as I understood with Pokemon Masters, they had nothing to say. But it's with other games where they had nothing to say, they said nothing. But for some reason, I guess maybe they just had to remind people that Pokemon Masters exists still as something you can play.
I think the Pokemon... if I'm looking at like game communities in a nutshell, I think the Pokemon Masters community was like really excited, which is why we spent some time earlier being like not everyone, but like a handful of people being like the Presents was boring. There was nothing here. Like we know that Terrestrialization is coming to Masters now, and people seemed very excited about Carmine, and that means like other characters will obviously Kieran is going to follow her. So like the two announcements to take away from Masters was Carmine is coming, which people were psyched for, and that Terrestrialization is coming. And that community seemed very jazzed that stuff is happening. I wouldn't say like the Pokemon Go community is jazzed about Eternatus because they just hate everything over there. Like that's partly Niantic's doing. That's fine. I mean, I'm excited for Eternatus, but
I think to Will's point earlier, we got that like when they said the max finale thing, like right after GoFest ended, they did that little trailer where Zamazenta and Zacian are just running towards something. And I think they said something big is coming or something along those lines. If they hadn't given us that then, so if they hadn't have trickled out that news at that point in time and just left it silent, and then we got this Eternatus news, and it was like everyone already thought that Eternatus was coming from that trailer. If we hadn't have had that, this news would have been more exciting. But because everyone already thought it was coming, like Will was saying, because there's more news than we need, like then when this came, it was like, okay, well, yeah, you confirmed what all of us already thought for the last 3 weeks.
No, that's a great point. That's a great point. They spent 40 seconds on Masters, which was that.
Are you sitting there with a stopwatch, taking notes?
I'm hitting play and pause on the trailer. Then they showed a little Pirates of the Caribbean boat next to a giant Lapras.
That was so good.
And you're like, oh,
bait.
Is this maybe a new game? Nope, just Cafe Remix.
That was so good. The transition from like dark and eerie into like da 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 da. It's Cafe Remix.
This is how I know this company hates us.
It was like that first Dragonite episode on the actual cartoon where it's like Dragonite came into the shore and it's like huge on the ocean shadow. And it's like, you don't know what this mysterious Pokemon is going to be. And then we find out later on, it's just some orange Barney dude.
Then they moved on to Pokemon Sleep, which again, I think that community in its nutshell was very excited about these announcements. They're bringing back Entei, Suicune, Raikou to the game, which a lot of people missed. They're all coming in September. They announced a new island is coming in November. They confirmed that Flygon will be part of that new island. People love Flygon. It will be the Amber Canyon. And that's all they needed to show for Pokemon Sleep people, and they were like over the moon excited. They were like, Flygon, new area, Legendary is coming back, and just they were it's like 20 seconds. And I'm like, that's all we need. I mean, myself included, as a big Sleep player, I was like, this is awesome. Like, that's all I wanted. Like, you're saying a new island's coming. Like, something's probably gonna happen in October, since we're getting Beast in September. We're getting New Island in November. That just tells me that there should be something cool in October that you're not ready to debut yet. Like, I'm over the moon excited for Sleep, and that was probably like the game they spent the least amount of time on. I think Cafe Remix got like 20 extra seconds.
Because they had pirate costumes on Totodile.
Yeah, I mean, Cafe Remix continues to be the cutest game Pokemon makes. It's just
that's up for
unplayable.
Debate.
Okay, well, we're going to get there. But I think Pokemon Sleep players are like, that game is positioned to be a long, drawn-out game. And so I feel like the player base for that game also feels that way. And so you could really announce anything for anything at a period of time. And, it's like November is a long ways. November's after ZA comes out. Like, and everybody's like, we don't care. We just saw that it's happening,
Oh, would October be like a ZA event collaboration?
Ooh, maybe.
And that's why they didn't. That's why they skipped. I think Will would
Maybe.
love sleep. I stand by this. I think Will would absolutely love this game.
Nope.
Will loves his little routines. He loves to do the same thing every morning. Loves to do the same thing before bed.
But
Do you still hatch an egg or hatch eggs like in the
No.
morning for bug Pokemon? I remember when you used to.
No, I
hatch,
got my shiny bug
like-
team and I was out.
Okay.
What I hate.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I do live my life on a schedule and by routine. I hate when there is a routine that is mandated by a game that is supposed to be something I'm doing for pleasure and fun. Don't make me feel bad for not opening all my gifts every day and sending all my gifts every day. No, this is not supposed to be work. This is supposed to be happy fun time.
I think it is happy fun time. I think it's like, oh, look at these Pokemon that visited me this morning.
Plus, I already have enough anxiety about my sleep because of my Aura Ring and my Apple Watch giving me conflicting information about how well I slept.
This is why I no longer wear an Apple Watch. Nobody gets to tell me what my health is like now.
What if you had another device under your pillow that could also tell you?
Oh, yes. So then it could be like Minority Report, and we just have to like see which one had the conflicting view.
Hey, speaking of devices, just since we're talking about Pokemon Sleep for a second, it looks like the Pokemon Go Plus is unavailable now. Like you cannot buy that anywhere unless it's like still stocked on shelves somewhere. But people have been looking for them for the last month or two.
Steve has an extra one he kept trying to push on me, so just hit him up.
I was literally going to give. I bought so many of them.
You did?
I did. And I bought one for Will because I knew Will wouldn't play this game without it. And then I tried to give it to Will. And just like everything, Will was like, nah, and left it at my house.
Mm-hmm. Very accurate statement.
Yeah. Well, if you have one, don't lose it because otherwise you're using your phone or an app or a watch to do your Pokemon Sleep because they're not available anymore.
I think I have 2 brand new ones.
You thought collecting Labubus was going to make you rich? It's the Pokemon Go Plus. That thing's going to be worth $1,000.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's just a production lull and they'll make more.
I hope so. Otherwise, that game to me is unplayable. I don't want to use my phone and I don't wear a watch anymore. So I need the Pokemon Go Plus if I'm going to continue playing that game. So.
Okay, after Sleep, we go into Latios joining Pokemon Unite. We already knew that, but I guess if you specifically don't follow Unite news and you're watching a generalized Pokemon Presents, that might be new to you. And then they announced a new game mode called Electrode Volleyball.
I had a question about the Latios and Latios. They're not coming out at the same time. They're like apart, right?
Latios is already out, and Latios comes out. Yeah.
When the whole skill is that they jump to each other.
Yeah.
Which is very, very weird. Yep.
Yes.
Quality craftsmanship, my friends. Quality craftsmanship.
Okay. I didn't think I wanted them to show auto chess, but they didn't. And I think maybe that's a Worlds announcement.
Does that exist in China now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is playable if you do some weird DNS thing.
You just VPN over to China.
Is that possible?
Yeah, you can't VPN out of China, but they'll happily let you VPN in.
Yeah, sure.
True.
I've heard Electro Volleyball is really good. They also gave out a free code for emblems and license, and then they announced that Palmy, Palmot, Palmo are coming to the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good. And that ends our mobile section for now. That was 2 minutes and 50 seconds of mobile stuff. We had 8 minutes of non-mobile stuff. And then that leads into TCG.
Wait, we have one more mobile game.
But not yet.
We're going
like
in order.
Presents order.
All right.
I'm just saying. We got about 3 minutes of mobile stuff, 8 minutes of mostly TV shows.
Yeah.
And now we're into TCG, which is the Mega Evolution cards. Absolutely gorgeous. Good trailer. I don't know why the TCG trailers always go like so hard.
I know, I do.
Because that branch of the company has a heck ton of money
Yes,
to
true.
put into production.
Which is like funny that we just talked about this last week with Jordan, how they're like advertising the heck out of this set when Black Bolt White Flare just came out literally 4 days ago.
Welcome to the world of TCGs these days. The concept of like 3 or 4 sets a year is gone. It's one set a month, and they are releasing info about the next set before the current set is even out. This is just the way it works nowadays.
Yep. It's sad. It's sad.
Except for like Bandai, which can't seem to get their sets out with any. They're on that old traditional method, which I'm fine with because it saved me a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they go from about 30 seconds on TCG to a brand new game, which we will talk about after the break.
Dagnabbit.
And we'll talk. Well, we could just say it here. No Pocket. Like what? They
That's
announced
so
the
weird.
Pocket thing 2 days later in just a random social media trailer.
So weird.
Even though the Spanish Pocket trailer leaked minutes after this direct, it was ready.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just include it? It's so confusing.
They didn't have the budget. They couldn't do another minute of presents.
No, that's not what it is. It was like literally finished like 3 seconds after the deadline, and they had like an intern running down the hall with the tape, like, I've got the TCG Pocket info, and they're like, you can see like the interns on that side of the door, and then like inside the production studio, the guy's like, I pressed the button, click, too late. And the intern's like, no, my dreams are destroyed.
Did they think that like Pocket made too much money and would show up the other?
I just
Like,
explained
Like,
to you with dramatically what happened, and you're still speculating.
just play the Pocket trailer.
There is an intern without a job right now, and Steve can't accept that reality.
Just
He
include
couldn't
it.
run
That's
down the
the
hall
most shocking
fast
part
enough.
of the entire day.
That was.
It wasn't that there was no black and white or no Gen 10. It was, why didn't Pocket make the
It was the one thing that's been a constant for the last 6 months. I guess they just wanted to keep it consistent, maybe with the rest of the things they've done with Pocket. But yeah, it was the one thing where it was like, well, of course we're getting this, and of course this is happening, and then they're like, nope. There's our surprise. Actually, that was
the surprise was the lack of Pocket. All right. Let's take another break, and then we got some more stuff to talk about. We're halfway through this trailer now, so we will be right back. And we are back from our break. 11 minutes, 30 seconds into our 24-minute presents, and we get presented with a new game, which was called Pokemon Friends, which is on both mobile and Switch, like Cafe Remix. It is free on mobile, and it is $10 on the Switch.
Is Cafe Remix on the Switch?
Oh, you can play
Yes.
it on the Switch, yeah.
Yeah.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you can play the touchscreen. I don't actually know if the controller works. That's a good question. There are... So, Bobby, you played on mobile, right?
Friends, yes. I played on mobile.
And then, Will, I don't know if you downloaded this game.
The greatest Pokemon game that has come out in the past decade, and you're like, I don't know if you downloaded this one. Yes, I have downloaded this one. I have talked about turning games into work. Timers set for when I can go back in, because it's not a full 24-hour reset.
Wow.
It's a 17-hour reset. Look,
timers.
it's all my favorite things in one game.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand that, do you even know who I am as a person? I have 2 critiques for this game. Please describe it for the listeners so that my critiques will make sense.
Okay, sure. Pokemon Friends is pretty much a simple puzzle game where there are a variety of different puzzles.
Simple because you haven't advanced to the higher levels yet.
You're probably right. My guess would be they're trying to almost like corner a market that is very similar to like a Wordle.
Yeah.
Or like a daily crossword puzzle.
Wordle is so old school. We're in Indeed Zip, okay? Indeed Zip is the one you got to be playing, so you know how you're doing better than other CEOs.
Yes, but I think there is this yearning with people to have a daily puzzle that they can go in, they can do a puzzle, and that's why I think Wordle really caught on with a lot of people, and I'm sure they maybe moved to different games. I think there's a market for that, and I believe if you're playing on mobile, that is completely free. You can do like 1 or 2. When I say 1 or 2 puzzles, I think it's a set of 3 puzzles.
You get a set of 3, and it resets every 17 to 18 hours.
Yes, and then you can pay more on mobile to unlock stuff.
That would be my critique number 1.
Okay, critique me.
It's $31.
It's $34.
I didn't look at the tags. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw 31 and I was like, I noped myself out of there faster than you could say hop and hip plop.
I can't be, Will, speaking of 15 years of memories, I can't be a hypocrite. When Pokemon Picross came out, I just wanted to buy the whole thing. But you had to buy the whole thing in 2 parts. And that is what annoyed me. You had to like spend 30 and then you had to spend like another like 4. You couldn't just say like purchase the whole thing.
That's annoying.
And it was so annoying. I think it was Pokemon Picross. I was like, just let me buy the whole thing. Or just put it on the shelf as like a cartridge thing for $30 and let me just go to Target or Walmart and just buy it, and then I have a cartridge of it. And that was never a thing either. And I do think there is like, we saw this with Pokemon Quest, where when they showed Pokemon Quest, everyone was like, this game looks like garbage. Why would anyone buy this? It just looks like Minecraft. And I feel like every person I talked to who played Quest, I know there's going to be one person in the YouTube comments been like, I hated Quest. That's fine. I'm not trying to sell you on Quest. I'm just saying that the majority of people who tried Quest because it was free really enjoyed it. And if Quest was $30 on the shelf, I don't think people would have even given it a chance. I'm just based off.
I paid for Quest twice. I paid for it on the Switch and bought all this stuff, and then realized that I liked mobile better, and then I had to pay for it on mobile, which is
you got too much money.
Which is a critique I have is for Friends is that it is not one account, so you do have to choose mobile or Switch. And again, to your point, Steve, you have to pay $10 if you're going to play it on the Switch, but nothing transfers between the two.
So if you pay the $10 on the Switch, do you get the whole unlock that you would pay $30 on your phone for? Because that's even
I paid $34 on my phone.
Messed up.
Or sorry, I paid $34 on the Switch.
Yeah,
because it's $10 for the game, and then it's however much for bundle 1 and bundle 2. But when you go to the eShop, it just says like unlock everything, $34 or $30 plus tax, and I just did that.
Yep. That's mobile has that too, but mobile just also has a $10. Mobile has a package that gets you what Switch gets you when you pay the $10. Mobile has that as well. You can do just the $10 for the puzzle add-on or whatever it's called, and then there's the other 2, which you can do for a total of like $34.
Well, PSA for the listeners: there's no need to spend a cent on this game. It is perfect and fun, free on your phone. If you have a phone that can play it.
Yeah.
Well, that would require me to turn my phone sideways, which I don't want to do.
First thing I thought about when I played the game, like I don't know if it's how they showed it on the preview, but when I sat down, I downloaded it. I didn't play it till that evening, and I was like, cool, this seems like a once-a-day puzzle game. This is great. I sat down, I turned it on. I had to turn my phone sideways, and I was like, Steve's out. Steve's not playing on mobile.
I mean, I've stopped caring whether Steve plays games or not a long time ago, so I was very focused on my own experience.
I paid the $34 on the Switch without even trying it. I was just like, I'm not a hypocrite. This was what turned me off from Picross was 2 purchases. I'm going to hit the 1 purchase on the eShop. I did it. I went in. I played for 2 hours straight. And my critiques is that I did 84 puzzles, and I was told there's 1,000 puzzles. So in 2 hours, I burned through 84 different puzzles.
What are you doing with your life? This is a 3-minute game.
I just kept doing puzzles because they were easy, and some of them were really neat and fun.
You're gonna get burned out and not want to do nothing no more.
No, I think if I had to do 1 set of 3 puzzles a day, I think I would fall off because I don't think the puzzles get hard enough fast enough.
This is the problem.
And
the fundamental problem is that you shower at night and you don't shower in the morning.
That's true.
Because
why is this a problem? Because I also shower at night.
Because like at the nighttime, your brain is already tired. So first, let me step back and talk about my own experience. Because I shower in the morning like a normal, sane person.
Okay.
Sure.
It takes, keep in mind, we both live in Minnesota. It takes about 2 minutes from when I turn my shower on for it to get warm enough to actually step into the shower. That used to be Angry Birds Reloaded time. But now it's Pokemon Friends time. Because it's just the perfect amount of time to play 1 round of the game, and I'm done, and the shower's warm enough, and I can go and take my shower. But Steve taking a shower at night, brain already dead, like he doesn't want to sit and do a puzzle game while he's waiting for the shower to warm up. So that way he like shifts that responsibility to a different time, and he doesn't get the quality, brief gaming experience that he could be having.
Wow. I have no argument to that.
See, it's all logic. It's all science. That's all you get from this end.
Sure. I go ahead.
Yeah, no. I think what took me away from this game a little bit is that I kind of appreciated that it felt like a game that, and it still can be, but it felt like a game that was okay. I do 3 puzzles and I'm done, and then tomorrow I'm going to do 3 puzzles and I'm done. It's in the same way that Wordle is, okay, I'm going to do 1 Wordle puzzle and then I'm done. Yeah. And then tomorrow I'm going to do 1 Wordle puzzle and then I'm done. And then they add in the factor, which I knew was coming, but then they added in pay all this money and then you can do unlimited puzzles all the time. And it's like, well, the thing that I kind of thought was cool about this game was that it wasn't actually, here, I'm going to sit down for multiple hours a day and do puzzles. It's just giving me 1 a day. And so it doesn't feel like I now have to sit there and like continue to do them over and over again.
You fell into the trap. It's that episode of The Twilight Zone where the gambler dies and he like wakes up and he's in a casino and like all he can do is win, and he thought he was in heaven because he's like, I'm a gambler and now I went to a casino after I died and now all I'm doing is winning, and then he realizes he's in hell because he can only win and he can never lose and there's no value in. You did this to yourself. If you hadn't paid, if you restricted to 3 puzzles, you'd be like, I'm looking. What level is your city?
Oh, I don't know.
Why are you even playing this game if you're
just
not
kept
leveling
doing
up
puzzles.
your city?
I like. Okay, here's the thing. I like the puzzles.
It's not called PokéPuzzle. It's called Pokémon Friends. No, because you're making friends with the people in the town. You want to spread
the flagpole.
You want to spread smiles and level up your city.
Feel smart.
There's a game for that, Pokemon Smile.
That's for teeth brushing.
Yes. Yeah.
You got it.
I don't know if this is on.
You got it all
I don't
wrong.
know I don't know if this is on mobile, but on the Switch, even when you unlock everything, you can go into like the parental controls and you can limit the amount of puzzles. And so when you pay for everything, it'll say unlimited. So I could go in and I could say like limit my child to do like 3 sets of 3 puzzles a day. But in order to turn that on, you have to solve a math problem. The math problem was like, what's 20 plus 8? And then once you solve the math problem, you can then change the
and I'm sure you and Bobby are going in there to restrict yourselves to the number of puzzles you can do.
I just think that's funny because when like people say that Pokemon, like the main series Pokemon games, are games meant for kids, I really don't think they've actually played a game that is meant for kids. Like, I think there is a very distinct difference between a game made for like a 6, 7, 8-year-old and like a game just made for like everyone, which I have always said like Pokemon games are just kind of made for everyone. They're like easy enough, but also like the depth is there if you want like EV Train or IV Train or anything like that. I've been told the puzzles get harder. And every puzzle that has stumped me was just purely because I didn't actually read the rules of the puzzle, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't. My bad. I should probably read this one sentence again to like."
Every puzzle that stumped you was the Mr. Mime puzzle. Those
no,
can get hard.
I was very good at the I was good at the Mr. Mime puzzle. I've only got up to like puzzle rank hard 4 or something. I don't know how hard it gets.
I'm still on easy 3.
Yeah, I'm on like easy 4 or whatever. It does remind me a lot of like Brain Age. Like I loved Brain Age when that came out, and I wish there was a good Sudoku game on the Switch. I have yet to find a good Sudoku game. I wish there was like a good Picross game. Maybe there is, but I haven't stumbled upon it. But it is scratching an itch of like, oh, I can just keep doing puzzles. Like I was a huge Professor Layton fan when those games originally came out. So I think there is a market for Pokemon and puzzles. But I think
almost like there could be a league of Pokemon puzzles.
You would hope.
All right, can I say my second critique of this game?
Yes, of course.
As someone who is deeply invested in the yarn crafting community of America, I'm very happy to see that your little you get, for the folks who don't know, when you solve your puzzles, you get a skein of yarn, which you can then plop into a machine, and it turns it into a, what is the term that they use?
Doll.
Incorrect.
Plush.
A plush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world who touches yarn and turns it into characters knows that there is a Japanese term for that called amigurumi that is an international word. They had the opportunity to say you can make Pokemon amigurumi, and they said plush instead. And I'm like, that's what you're turning your back on your own culture, people.
You know why they said plush instead, of course, right?
Why? No.
Because then it's going to turn people into wanting to go buy Pokemon plushes.
But they're not made out of yarn.
Doesn't matter. They're going to they see the word plush over and over and over again. They see them adding them to their room.
Awful.
They see all this and then they think, oh, I want a real one. Like I want a plush for my room. And then they go to the Pokemon Center and they buy a Pokemon plush.
That was very disappointing for me. But really, those are my only two critiques. I like decorating my little room with my Pokemon and then taking them all out so that I can give them to my new Pokemon friends so I can spread smiles all around my city. I'm at level silver. At this point, I have leveled up to silver. That's truly a great game.
There's the review.
It is listed, the developer and distributor is the Pokemon Company, but they're not the people who developed it. It was like Way Forward Games or something made it.
Yeah.
We can talk more about that in the future, but I think it's fine. I think it's harmless. You know what it reminded me of the most is when you see like those TikTok filters of people trying to solve very simple puzzles, but they solve it wrong. So then you install the filter, so then you can prove that you can solve it. It was like somebody at the Pokemon Company got frustrated with like those TikTok ones and was like, we'll make our own.
I do need leaderboards so that I can know how much better I am than other people. Like I get with my LinkedIn zip. Gotta do the zip every day.
I think there's a bigger conversation about how like a decade ago, this would have just been a $35 game on the 3DS that would have been on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And now because games are almost like needing to be free to play, it feels like it's just a product of the time of like it has to be distributed this way in order for people to actually like give it a try.
It is surprising to me that the Switch version does cost money when the mobile version doesn't.
Yeah.
Because for like Pokemon Quest, they both were free.
Yep. I don't understand the logic of that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Maybe they think that enough people will buy it on the Switch that makes them enough money for the people who just free to play on the mobile and don't spend any money on it.
Like me.
Yeah. That's a weird one.
I also don't think you need the puzzle packs. It looks like they only add 10 extra puzzles, but they add 40 extra plushes, more yarn, more furniture, more wallpapers.
Oh, no. If I can only get certain yarns by paying for them. No, they'll unlock that in time. They'll create new yarns and then unlock the older yarns. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
if
my
you
prediction.
only care about the puzzles, I think you can just get the basic. If you like the decorating your room, then maybe you should get the puzzle packs. I maybe should have read that before I bought it because I like don't care about the room stuff. I just like
clearly
doing the puzzles. Clearly, yeah. How did we spend 15 minutes on the? Well, it was a new game.
Best game, a part of this announcement.
They spent a minute and a half on Pokemon Friends, and then they announced that they were like, "Hey, Scarlet and Violet is fixed. If you own a Switch too, good luck on that." And then they said that Shiny, Wo-Chen, Chen Pao, Ting-Lu, and Chi-Yu will be in max raid battles, 5-star max raid battles for pretty much all of the rest of the summer. So that started July 23rd, and that will go until September 14th. And each one of these are about 2 weeks long, and they will be accompanied by outbreaks. So the first 2 weeks are the grass outbreaks when Chen Pao comes on Monday, August 4th. Then that'll switch to ice outbreaks. And so they did this last year with like the Dondozo stuff and everything. I think it was like Dondozo, Dragonite, whatever. So we now know like the next pretty much 2 months of Scarlet and Violet content. Mm-hmm. That should also mean that 7-star raids are on hold. We still have Goodra, we still have Hydreigon, we still have Dragapult that they haven't done. So if this is running to the September 14th, that would mean that those last 3 7-star raids should take us to October 14th, which would be ZA. There might be one of those 7-star raids, like knowing Pokemon, they'll be like, the Dragapult raid starts the same day that ZA comes out. And it's like, well, yeah. Who wants to do Dragapult when like we want to play a brand new game?
Mm-hmm.
And then they released 2 new outfits for Scarlet and Violet. For what it's worth, I think it's cool that they're continuing to add like outfits and they're still doing stuff. I think this is a good way to release those shinies. So how it works, I should probably just say this.
Yeah.
How it works is you have to defeat that Pokemon 1,000,000 times. They did this for Zeraora and Sword and Shield. And then once it's defeated, they will distribute that Pokemon the following Friday. So like Chen Pao will start on Monday, but that means we'll get that Wo-Chen distribution a couple days after Chen Pao starts because they have to like tally everything up. As of this recording, there's no way to track how many we've done. For Zeraora, I think you could track it in Pokemon Home, but this doesn't link to Pokemon Home. And I think for Zeraora, they also like tweeted every couple days, like, you're at X amount of Zeraoras defeated, and they haven't done that yet. We don't know if it'll be in Cherish Ball. We don't know what the OT will be. It will go through Mystery Gift in the game. When they first showed this, the language they said was like, if you participate in the raid, you will be able to download Wo-Chen. And later on in the day, Pokemon Home and the Scarlet and Violet website and Pokemon.com updated the language saying that like it will unlock for everyone. So I don't think you actually have to do the raid to get the Wo-Chen, because I don't know how they would stop you from getting it because it's not tied to your home account.
That's how they did it in the past, though, for
yes.
very similar types of distributions.
So And like for Shiny, Galarian, Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno for the Galar versions for Sword and Shield, that was tied to your participation via the ranked battles. So they could track that. I think everyone should do one Wo-Chen in the next week, just in case you're on the fence and you care about this. They're really easy. I made a YouTube video of like 2 Pokemon. You can use tons of Pokemon work. But if you want to do it by yourself or if you want to go online, I gave you 2 suggestions. They're fine.
Not gonna happen.
Obviously, once the Wo-Chen ends and the distribution starts, we'll know we'll know the base requirements for the next 3.
We'll find it. If Will gets one, you didn't have to do a raid.
Perfect. So that brings us to 15 minutes into the direct.
Oh Lord.
And they brought up Pokemon Champions, which we see that there is VP, which is victory points, which you can use to rent Pokemon. And you can use VP to change their nature. You can use VP to give them IVs and, sorry, not IVs, EVs. They added a slider. They did it.
I was very surprised to see that.
They sure did.
Yeah, they did.
They still have not said anything about price or what this is.
$34.
The cool thing is they added another layer of super effective. Did you guys see that?
No.
So
Super
there's
duper
like
effective.
I forget what they call it. So you know how a Pokemon can be 4 times weak? Like Como-O is Dragon is weak to Fairy, but also Fighting is weak to Fairy, so Fairy would do 4 times effective. What was it called? It was called like I'm trying to look for the screenshot. It was called like, it's not super effective, like amazingly effective or something. That's not what it is. But that was like one of the takeaways I saw was, and then they did that for the opposite.
Oh,
so it's like not very effective, and it's like it's definitely not very effective or something like that.
Extremely effective and mostly ineffective.
Yes, extremely effective. I am surprised that they said 2026. That was shocking to me.
Yeah. Same.
Well, you thought it was going to come this year?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
I thought it would be this year.
When I said this on my stream, so I'll repeat it for those that don't watch my stream. Like I didn't when I did my Pokemon Day predictions earlier this year, and I said we'll probably get a battle simulator. I just didn't pull that out of anywhere. I heard that they were working on a battle simulator, and I heard that that we were supposed to get a game before ZA. We did get a game before ZA.
Pokemon Friends.
Pokemon Friends.
but that's what I heard. And and maybe that my source purposely put those 2 sentences together to make it vague or whatnot, or vague enough, sure. But I don't know if like Friends was on the radar at the time to be like. There is no leaking of Pokemon Friends. I don't think anyone predicted that.
My suspicion would be that there's going to be something introduced in Pokemon ZA. You're probably going to hate this, that they're going to want to make this. They're planning on including in Pokemon Champions, so they need to give time for ZA to marinate before they can release Champions, which will have that.
Yeah, I think the worry still
AKA
is
new Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
I think the worry still is, what is the future with Scarlet and Violet? You're just gonna drag that all the way to. Okay.
I stopped playing that 2 years ago.
I'm talking about purely competitive players. Like let's say that this game comes out January or February, right? Because if you're dragging Scarlet and Violet players to January and February, and this game comes out, how fast is it going to be turned into a tournament? Whereas, like, are we saying as early as March or April that tournament organizers are going to be ready to support this game?
We've done that before. They've done it where, like, within a week or two of a game coming out, that changed the format. So, why not?
They could do like an early January release, and then by middle of February, they've,
especially with this game, because it's so easy to program the Pokemon you want. You don't even have to do breeding and eggs and all that biz.
Yeah, I feel like they showed like a slider, and they showed how to rent, but like there's so many unanswered questions about this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, the floor is way too busy. Whatever the floor is doing, it is nauseating.
It's a dance floor. It is a dance floor for sure. I don't know why
I
they
see
decided.
that in a lot of games recently.
Really, that's
like, especially like TCG
awful.
simulators.
Like it is like I need to turn like, can I just turn the floor off?
Maybe.
Yeah. How can you focus at all when all of that's going on?
Like the floor should be like pure pink if it's misty terrain. It should be like pure yellow if it's electric terrain. It's like there should be. That's one of the most frustrating things I think in Pokemon VGC battles is like, I forgot Trick Room was up because nothing signifies that Trick Room is up right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No,
like,
they probably can't show more because it's just not ready yet. There's nothing to show.
I don't know. The dance floors are there so that we don't pay attention to the rest of the rest of what's going on. Like, just hit them with lights.
I do wonder if we will get. I feel like out of everything we'll get more information for. It feels like we would get more information for Champions at Worlds.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Like almost like a release date, or almost like a formats are going to start, or just literally anything.
I could see that. Like, formats are going to start at this time. I could see a release date, and formats are going to start at this time, like, or on this, at this date or whatever, at Worlds, because it's a competitive thing, right? Like it would make the most sense for them to give us more information about this game over anything else at Worlds.
Yeah, I think the other thing that, did we say this during the Unite of like the auto chess showing up maybe at Worlds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
15 minutes of I can't remember.
Yeah, 50. And then at 17 and a half minutes out of the 24 minutes, that ends with Z-A. And I think there's a couple takeaways from Z-A. We get what I'm very confident our alpha Pokemon are back.
I think they say that. They say there's a description where it says alpha Pokemon are in it.
And then I think there was a small preview on like the Japanese website of how like catching actually works. So you know how you don't have to like false swipe anymore. You can like just knock out their HP.
Mm-hmm.
If you just let them sit there for a couple seconds, then they eventually disappear. So you are on like a slight timer when you knock them out to then catch them.
Interesting.
But that wasn't shown in this trailer. That was shown on like Pokemon.co.jp
JP,
or like that.
Oh, yeah. And we should clarify here that we saw the Pokemon Legends Z-A Nintendo Switch 2 edition trailer.
Oh yeah, this game's gonna run like dog water on the first Switch, right? There's no way this game runs good on the first Switch.
I don't know. I thought it was very interesting that
I'll let you
made
know
certain that we were watching the Switch 2 edition.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. They definitely said you were watching Switch 2 footage.
Yes.
They showed 2 new characters, and they showed like a raid-like battle. Did you see that too? Well, sorry, two new characters that are part of your friend group.
Okay.
Because you pick either what is his name, Urbane or I can't remember her name.
No, it said that you are welcomed by, so it's probably going to be the thing where it's the opposite gender of whatever gender you select for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is one of your friends.
Tawny?
And then
Tawny or something like that? Wasn't her name?
Tawny, yeah.
Oh, I can't remember.
And then you
the
get
names.
Tierno's like sister or whoever, what people are assuming that. And then you get the kid with the Scraggy. They both have Mega bracelets, so I guess the speculation is since she has a Staryu, Mega Starmie, and then since they have a what? I just said it, Scraggy. That Mega Scrafty. So both of those sound cool. We see Mega Dragonite for the first time, and then in that battle where it's Mega Dragonite versus Mega Tyranitar, all 4 people are participating in that. Which makes me think, like, are they bringing a raid-like feature to this game? Because that would be cool.
Yeah.
But that's also assuming if this game has multiplayer, because Legends Arceus was a one-player game.
This is a different game.
Yeah.
But they've had 4-person battles before.
Yeah. But it did seem like 4v1.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was really short. I mean, like,
it was after the Machoke gets knocked out, right? And then they bring the Dragonite out, and then it Mega evolves, or was it a different? Yeah, okay.
It's at 22 in the trailer. And
they also
the Mega Tyranitar is like much bigger than it should be.
Okay,
almost like
a raid boss.
Yeah,
or real life size.
They also showed the antagonists or one of the villains of the game.
Potentially the bad guys.
Potentially, but he's battling you with an Arbok, and I just felt like maybe there's going to be a Mega Arbok. There's something about that battle with the way they were doing it and everything with his Arbok. I was thinking, oh, maybe a Mega Arbok as well. So
yeah, and they introduced
very
the crisis.
bold of them.
The crisis that you're going to have to solve, which is Pokemon spontaneously Mega evolving on their own. Not through the
very
bonds
bold
of
of them to give another person an Arbok when that was like
that's true
Team Rocket's kind of thing.
Maybe that's the twist. Just kidding. It's not the twist.
I don't know. Can I be negative for a second? I don't understand Pokemon fans' obsession with Pokemon characters being related to each other.
Is it an obsession people have had just time and time again? Because it was definitely like a Legends Arceus thing where they really wanted to focus on that. I feel like they really put that out there make it.
It creates the greater lore. It's like all the people who care that Zelda and Link is one cohesive story. Sure it is. Okay. Yeah. And it was all just like people think that Star Wars 1 was Star Wars Empire Strikes Back was planned. No, they made a lot of money off Star Wars 1 and were like, write another movie quick, even though that one came to a definite conclusion.
People love
I think
universes.
In the Blueberry Academy, right, where they say that Lacey is the daughter of Clay. And they make that they don't even make that clear. You have to get through a lot of subtext. You have to kind of do a little bit more than the story allows you to say oh, my dad is Clay. And when I thought that, I was just like, oh, cool. I'm never neat. It's now left my brain. I'm I've moved on. Oh, cool, neat.
Yeah,
but then
you don't write any Pokemon fanfic, man.
That's true. Yeah, I'm very behind on my Pokemon fanfic. But then to have people maybe this is because I'm a streamer. They'll constantly come in my stream and be like, did you know that she's the daughter of Clay and Eliza is the mother? And it was whoa. Where are you? Nowhere does it state who the mother is. Also, why do you care so much? Who generated this child that we are now battling in this game with a Plusle in mind? And it's not that. How did we get here?
I think we got here when, going back to Star Wars, when we all found out that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father.
And Leia was Luke's sister.
Yeah, that
which was planned well in advance. Absolutely.
there are already theories that I don't know this guy's name. Corin. I don't know what his name is. The Arbok guy. That because he has yellow eyes, and Kieran and Carmine have yellow eyes.
Oh no.
That they're somewhat related. Sure,
Okay.
maybe. And then the girl with the blue hair has the same hair as Tierno in X and Y.
Yep.
So they're related. And like, if you were to tell me this girl is related to Tierno, sister, cousin, long lost mother, whatever, I don't know their ages, I would be like, cool. And then probably never think of it again, because like everything in Pokemon is just like references of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, cool. Like this dude is from Johto. Nice. Okay, neat. Like I think I feel like that's almost like where Pokemon has drawn the line. Like, okay, we need to. What if wouldn't it be cool if these two characters were related? Yeah, and then they don't think of it anymore.
Mm.
But then the fans are like they run, and it's fine if that's fun.
I tell you, it's wringing every potential dollar out of the enterprise that they can, because they know that there is one person out there who's like, Clay was my favorite character, and I wasn't going to get this expansion.
No one
except
has ever said Clay is their favorite character.
You are so wrong. You are so wrong.
No one has ever said those words.
And they're like, I have to get this expansion because it's Clay's child, and I need to play the expansion that has my favorite character's child in it. There's at least $5 that they made off of that relationship.
I think that what I want to see, rather than all these relationships between the trainers, is I want to see like my starter Tepig is like the daughter of the Embor that I had in like Black and White 2.
You know what's crazy is people will be so obsessed of like who is the mother of Lacey / who is the wife or ex-wife of Clay, or however that dynamic worked, but then they won't play Pokemon Masters. If you want like actual like character lore, that game is full of it.
Even worse,
I don't want to do Masters.
Even worse, to put the lie in Bobby's mouth, they did this. They did almost exactly what he just asked for, and people so much didn't care that they never did it again.
Wait, what? Whoa.
Because if you had the save file from Black and White and put in Black and White 2, as you went through the story, you would experience people having memories of your adventure from Black and White. And they would have relations of like, oh, this is the Pokemon that I saw before, and it like danced in my theater, and it was such a wonderful. And everybody was like, what a waste of time. And I was like, it's a unified experience of one actual world.
Yeah.
People hating Black 2, White 2 is why we get the Pokemon games we deserve today.
Exactly.
Will, how do you feel about Mega Dragonite?
The design is, look, at one point I finally give them credit that 30 years later they're finally admitting that was not the sequence the evolution was supposed to take, and it was supposed to evolve from different Pokemon. On the other hand, it's kind of like the fossils from Galar, where they're just like sticking different pieces together, and they're like, haha, new Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I really don't like how they were like, I don't know if they said this in the trailer or if it was in the press or something, but they were like, we took pieces from Dragonair, and we gave Dragonair's wings. Dragonite already has wings, so now Dragonite has 2 sets of wings.
Well, because he's got the wings on his head now. And for the people that don't understand, it's like Dratini and what's the middle one?
Dragonair.
Dragonair were supposed to evolve into Gyarados. That's why they all look like snakes.
Yeah,
and then
Magikarp.
Magikarp was supposed to go into Dragonite. That's why they've got the whiskery things on their heads.
Yeah.
And they accidentally, the intern shuffled the papers, but they also did
Clay
it for.
Was supposed to get married to so and so, and
same intern that didn't get the pocket information to the presents person in time.
They did it again because there's another dragon type Pokemon that's like Flygon, I think.
No, it was Venonat. Was supposed to be Butterfree or something.
No, there's that too.
3.
But there is something with Flygon and the ones that come before it.
Trapinch and Vibrava.
Either way. It's something they keep doing. Maybe
Bagon, Shelgon, Flygon.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of Dragonite. There's something about it was like I don't understand.
Big orange Barney?
Dragonite.
Yes, I don't understand people being like they ruined Dragonite or they made him look dumber.
Derpy?
When he already looked derpy. He already had tiny wings.
Does this look derpy to you? Right
And
here behind
huge
me?
hips. No, because the Dragonite plush behind you is not atomically and it doesn't have the right anatomy.
It's from the Pokemon Company.
I know, but like Dragonite has a tiny body and huge hips. Yours is like proportional.
No,
Dragonite. And look at how big the wings are.
Dragonite is like all neck.
Yeah, yours has no neck. If Dragonite really looked like that, that would be like, oh, okay, Dragonite's pretty cool. But like the way Dragonite looks in the games and the anime is really derpy, and they just made it more derpy. And I actually think that's like
probably
cute.
On purpose at this point. Yeah, but what I think the hugest flaw, not to be like Dragonite critic of the year, but
no, I can be it.
They pump Dragonite up as like this is one of the most powerful extreme Pokemon that exist in the Pokemon universe, and then it looks like that.
But that's the whole thing about it, right? Is it's like it looks like that, and then you make it mad, and you realize, oh, this isn't the derpy Pokemon.
Wings out its head.
Like Koraidon. We already have wings coming out of a Pokemon's head. Koraidon already has that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the my takeaway of Mega Dragonite isn't that Mega Dragonite is bad. It's fine. I'm so indifferent to Dragonite that it's whatever. Like I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just a Pokemon that exists. I think the only thing it solidifies to me are Mega Pokemon designs are bad, and they stuck with that for Dragonite. And G-Max designs are significantly better. There is not a single Mega Pokemon that is better than G-Max Orbeetle.
Mega Kangaskhan?
Mega Kangaskhan is not better than G-Max Orbeetle. Mega Mawile is better than Kangaskhan, but not better than G-Max Orbeetle. Not better than G-Max Kingler. G-Max Kingler, so good. Not better than G-Max G-Max Charizard is great. G-Max Venusaur is way better than Mega Venusaur.
I think though that if the Gigantamax Pokemon came out before the Mega Pokemon, you would like I'm not saying you'd flip completely, but I feel like you've seen Mega Pokemon for so many years.
Mega
and then
Aerodactyl is so bad.
Okay, well, I'm not saying every Mega Pokemon is good. I'm saying like there are like I actually really like the design of Mega Lucario, and it's not a whole lot different than Lucario, but I think that I do think Mega Lucario looks really cool.
I think Mega Blaziken is bad, but I do think Mega Swampert is pretty good.
Mega Swampert's pretty good. I do like Mega Swampert.
Mega Ampharos pretty good.
Mega Ampharos is great. You can't hate on Mega Ampharos.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to hate on Mega Ampharos. I think Mega Kangaskhan kind of bad. I think the baby coming out of the pouch, we don't even know who the baby's father was.
It was Clay, clearly.
It was probably Clay. We don't know this. There will be a gift bonus of a Ralts holding a Gardevoir stone. I hate the naming of Mega Stones.
Dragonite. Can't wait for Dragonite.
As a gift.
Blame the English language. Don't blame the Pokemon Company.
Oh, I'm blaming them. So we know a Ralts holding the Mega Stone is coming. So the question is, does that also, out of this whole presents, confirm that there will be held items in this game? Because Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and Legends Arceus, there were no held items. There were also no abilities in those two respective games.
There was also 7 battles in all of Legends Arceus.
I'm so tight. Not in front of me. Not in front of me.
There were definitely more battles in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee than there were in Legends Arceus.
Yes.
That is true. That is a true statement. And then, of course, you get 100 free Pokeballs. I think they did drop the ball here on the ZA stuff. I think they should have done 2 Megas. and not one. They definitely got the reaction they wanted, where people were like, I love this or I hated this. But I think if you fell into the camp of like, I didn't like Mega Dragonite, which I don't know, maybe more people didn't like it than did like it. I think if there was another Mega, you could at least point to that to be like, well, nothing about Mega Dragonite excites me, but Mega Arbok looks awesome.
I can tell you why they can't do that. Because
2 new Megas.
They hate
no,
us.
because the game's coming out in 3 months, right? 2 months, 2.5 months at this point. What's going to happen? And everybody has to send me a Van Cleef bracelet when I'm correct. Authentic, not imitation. Is every fully evolved Pokemon will have a Mega Evolution in Pokemon Z-A.
You're out of your mind.
I am basic. Get me the green, like the Irish green Van Cleef bracelet. Thank you. It's like everybody else has. I don't need anything special. Just the $5,000, $6,000 one.
Okay, so Will's point aside, I think that Steve, I think you're right in that if they had released 2 Megas, then instead of people complaining, oh, this Mega Dragonite isn't good or whatever, they would have like been potentially comparing them at the least, right? And so then they would have been like, oh, I like Mega something so-and-so more than Mega Dragonite, or I like Mega Dragonite more than so-and-so. And so like there would have been more positivity in the sense that one of the 2 would have been liked more than the other one from everybody.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have people just saying, oh, Mega Dragonite is a bummer, you know? So,
yeah, because you even have a person like me who like, I just don't care about Dragonite. Like, I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I don't love him, but it's just like, okay, a Pokemon I don't care about.
Love this derpy little dragon over here.
Surprisingly, this Presents was not all mobile games. I just want to point that out. It was actually very little about mobile games. Well, unless you consider Champions a mobile game, which I mean technically it is because it will be on mobile. But
yes,
yeah. I think I do think the new characters they showed in Z-A looked great. I think the outfits they showed looked great. I think the game running on a Switch 2 looked great. I still have some problems graphically with like how they decided to like make the buildings like kind of more flat and whatnot. But I think that is a compromise they have to do for the Switch. And I get it. I get that this company wants to sell as many copies of their game as they can. This is the same company that put Black 2, White 2 on a DS when the 3DS already existed, and I think that was part of the for like a year. And also Black 2, White 2 looked terrible on the 3DS. You had to like hold down like start select to like get it to go into like perfect pixel mode, and then when it did, it was like way smaller. It was, but they wanted to sell as many as possible, so I think we're like stuck with the fact that this game could maybe look better or be more ambitious if they didn't have to compromise for the Switch 1. And or you could just be really honest and like if Game Freak was actually like semi-decent at programming and like making a video game, we wouldn't be here anyways. Or maybe if Game Freak like learned to ask for help, we wouldn't also be here anyways. But like here we are.
Maybe. I don't know. They got help on Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. And look where that got them.
A fantastic game that I loved playing.
That didn't work out for them. Also, going back to black and white, because I made that joke a lot during the thing. Who do we think is making Black and White remakes? Like Ilka we know what they're working on now. They're working on Pokemon Sleep. They're still working on Pokemon Home, which that app is we should have got an announcement for like, hey, we're revamping Home because it's terrible. And they're working on Pokemon Champions. They're working on 3 things. They could barely make Diamond and Pearl a good remake, and now they have 2 other games they're working on top of Pokemon Home.
I mean, I have the answer.
Who would be making this?
I can tell you if you want to know for real. I know who's doing it. It's OpenAI.
Rockstar Games. That's why they had to delay Grand Theft Auto. But I don't know. It's a question that should be asked, right? We know that Ilka is working on Champions. Which is also part of the reason why I don't think Champions is like an actual long-term solution. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but like I feel like Game Freak cares about competitive battles a lot. Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe they actually don't care about competitive, but they sure seem to. Or the Pokemon Company at least sure seems to. But we know Ilka's working on Champions. We know they're working on Sleep. They haven't messed up Sleep yet. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Maybe Select Button is working on Black and White remakes.
Maybe the 3 people at Select Button really knocking it out of the park, because that company is literally like 3 people. Yeah. They're really. I would be very. That would be groundbreaking Pokemon news if Select Button was working on Black and White remakes.
So you don't think we're getting Black and White remakes until after Gen 10, right?
Yeah,
that's your thought.
I mean, even if we look at what we have for the 30th anniversary, which is next year, ideally that should be Gen 10. That should be Pokemon Champions. That would be the 10-year anniversary of Pokemon Go, which is perfect. They're probably going to raise the level cap. They're going to introduce Mega Mewtwo. Perfect time also because ZA will be featuring Megas, right? They've already gone hog ham into Megas on the TCG at this point, so they're going to run that into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where you squeeze in Black and White, where the next year seems very Mega focused, which is like fine. Like they're definitely farming the nostalgia of Mega Pokemon for the next year.
We're never getting Black and White remakes. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, they don't want to give us Black and White remakes because they don't want to tell us who Clay hooked up with.
Yeah,
I mean, It's very obvious. Like they can't open that can of worms.
No, of course not. Okay, so then do you think I'm sure we got to wrap this up, but do you think Gen 10 will be Switch 2 exclusive?
I still don't know about that. I still feel like they want to sell as many copies as possible. Right? How did they get to 24 million copies again? They did it twice in a row.
Yeah.
The hard thing is with that comparison is that I think the DSi came out like a month before the 3DS. So it's like there was still a new DS system when the Black and White games, a relatively new DS system when the Black and White games were coming out, where there's Switch Lite or even the OLED Switch is a year old now, right? 2 years?
I think 3.
I never got one. I don't know.
Yeah, I think 3.
So it's like the Switch they just have to acknowledge is aged hardware.
Yeah, it just turned 8. And we still don't have red and blue on the Switch one, which people keep saying every year.
Oh, that's never going to happen either.
I mean, look at like Sword and Shield, right? Sword and Shield did as well as it's done, but it came out in 2019. So only 2 years after the Switch came out. So I could see them doing Gen 10 as a Switch 2 exclusive, just because a lot of people have a Switch. A lot of people had a 3DS. But
that's why I don't think there was a special edition ZA Switch.
Right. Because they're going to be...
They didn't want to do multiple SKUs. They just want to make as many as possible.
Yeah,
and it's working. You go into a store and you find one and you're excited. Yeah. I mean, it's working in the sense of like they're still selling out, but there's still also that opportunity to be like, oh, my store has them in stock today. And if I don't get it today, it will be out of stock. But at least I can know I can get it today. So like the one SKU I think is working for them of like, we're making as many as possible and people are still buying them like hotcakes. And so ideally next year, there will be enough Switch 2s. But there's a lot of Switch 1s out there.
There are. But again, there were a lot of 3DSs out there. And it's like, you got to move on to the next thing, right? And they can't keep holding back their games because there's a lot of Switches out there, because there's a holiday season coming up this year, right? Like, there's going to be a lot of Switch 2s out there by, let's say, next November. Let's say that's, Gen 10 comes out like November of 2026. There'll be a lot of Switch 2s out there by November 2026.
Yeah. It makes me think of like why Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee was like really important, because it felt like exciting enough to get a Switch, but also not that exciting that if you couldn't afford it, you were like completely missing out. So it was like almost like a safe stepping stone in before Gen 8.
That makes sense.
Like just marketing wise, I thought it was important for them to do that. And maybe they would have done that with Z-A if the Switch 2 was ready in time.
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't imagine they don't want to try to break Gen 8 and Gen 9 sales records with their Gen 10. Like,
sure, but they can do that over some period of time. I mean,
yeah, totally.
You know, Gen 8 got where it is not right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess we'll see.
Okay. All right. If you are on the free feed and you would like a little bit more of Will, we'll have like an extra 15-20 minutes.
Nobody wants that.
After the break, if you're already on the premium feed, that will kick in after the credits automatically. If you're not on the premium feed or you just want that bonus content, it will be free this week on Patreon. Patreon.com/PKMNcast. It will be free. You'll just have to sign up for a Patreon account. You don't have to give any money. It'll say free for members. Becoming a member is free. Totally bonus. We're not putting Will behind the paywall. The show has been going on for 15 years, and this podcast has been going on for 2 hours. So we're going to wrap up here. I know we could have probably spent the entire show dissecting the Z-A stuff. We'll do that probably next week or the following weeks, because there's probably going to be nothing news-wise until Worlds at this point. So we got plenty of things we can deep dive in for the following week. So don't worry, if we miss something, we will definitely get to it. Really appreciate you guys listening for all this time. Really appreciate you guys making it to the end. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Bobby. We will see you guys in the post show. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
super effective,
super retired. I wish.
Well, and there was constant. We still get this probably once every 2 weeks of where's Will?
Yeah.
Wash in the sink. I literally everywhere. I have one nowhere. I don't open X anymore. But if you look in all the other places, still there.
Yeah.
You're there.